Or are we just...
Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and I have a self-imposed deadline, so I gotta hop too. So here I am. Sako is off doing, I think, belly dance stuff or something. I don't know. She's busy.
Uh,
Uh, and we have the one, the only Doc Coleman with me today. Say hi to the nice people, Doc.
Hi, nice people.
So, how was your
Uh,
week? How's it going?
um, my week has been fairly busy, but
I hear
I
that.
don't know. It's is of course we're now coming into the last week run up to Balticon.
Yeah.
Less than a week actually, because Balticon officially starts on Friday, and for some of us it starts on Thursday. um, and it's just seems like so much stuff to get done.
I have business cards. I thought they were right here. These
Yeah,
are
you
my
need to
old
locate those
ones.
business cards.
These are my old ones. Oh,
Yeah, I
here's
think
the new ones.
I was gonna say you've shown us the new ones before.
Yeah.
I don't think you've
So,
shown the box, but
ooh, it's a very cute box. So you can compare and contrast. Whoop. This is the old one.
mm-hmm.
Little border. It's got Twitter and YouTube and whatever. And then on the back, in very tiny letters. Come on. There
Very
we
tiny
go.
letters that can't focus and still be readable on YouTube. So no.
Yeah, it says where to find my Anansi stuff. And the new one,
Mhm.
you'll note no border, larger font. So,
So does this mean you're a writer without borders?
and QR code to my link tree.
Yep.
So, even if I give away my last other one, I hang on to one and I say, just scan it. It'll be fine.
Yep.
So, anyway, super excited. Oh my gosh, been doing so much for the convention this week. But the schedule finally went live, so that's super awesome. I'm not going to be on like 6 panels and a meet and greet and hosting a party that I'm going shopping for after this. So,
Yeah,
things
I know.
and
I
stuff.
signed up for something like 35 panels, and of course, it got trimmed way down.
Yeah,
Uh,
but because they try not to put more than like a person on more than what, 6 a
oh yeah,
day?
I know. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm doing 10, which is that's pretty much the maximum these days. But
Yeah.
I've done up to 17
At Balticon?
at Balticon. I was on 17 panels one year when Jody Lanai was the guest of honor.
Oh,
Uh, um,
nice.
and I actually met her because I went to the green room because I was just tired, and that turned out I was going in while she was coming out.
I am
But
also on 10 events if you count the tour slash first timers party and the
mhm,
Chillaxathon party that I'm hosting.
yeah,
One of which is not actually on the schedule. The other
okay,
is on the schedule. But yeah,
is
I'm
on
on
the
the
schedule.
party floor. Oh, I need to
But
call my
yeah,
dad during the first
during
sprint.
the first, so I
I
know
do.
one of my events is a reading, and the other one is my autograph signing. But it's
Nice.
still
Okay.
on the schedule.
And obviously my stream.
Yep,
But yeah, I have
which we will
150
both be
pages to go. I don't think I'm making it by Thursday, but we'll see. We'll see. Day job for me has been super stressy. I rolled off the
at.
project I've been on for 2 years on Friday, and I started ramping up on my new project about a week and a half ago. So it's a lot of turnover, and my new project is not full time, so I don't have full coverage, which is a very interesting place to be when you are a full time employee and not a contractor. So we're
Yeah, day
we're
day
wiggling
job for
things.
me has gotten a bit quiet because we've
Yeah,
submitted a big proposal, and it gets
yeah.
decided on May 30th, the day
Oh,
after Memorial Day.
oh my
So
gosh,
right,
that's super
we're just
stressy.
trying to keep our heads down and hope that no more shrapnel comes at us. So
Yeah, yeah. Seriously. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have 150 pages I'd like to get edited that are not going to get edited by Wednesday, but I'm going to give it my best shot and maybe at least get to the climax and some of the stuff I want to happen there. So,
Okay. So I'm sensing here that you'd like to move into a sprint relatively soon. So
yeah.
so I'd like the folks who are watching to tell us what they're going to be working on as we suddenly move into a sprint. Because you're working on your novel, trying to get it done so that you can say
Yes.
it's revised and ready to go when we go to Balticon. I'm working on my novel. I'm not going to have it revised and ready to go, but I got to get stuff done.
Yeah. I hear you.
And
I hear you.
yeah,
So,
I know Desdemona's out there.
Desdemona has this shirt too. It's last year's winter shirt for Nano. So I loved it. It's the first time I've really enjoyed one of their shirts. So I was like, yes, please. So
I got one of their shirts a number of years ago, but
some years I like mine better.
Some years they've got really good shirts, and some years it's like, come on, guys.
And sometimes the poster is better than the shirt, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And like, why they don't have like a postcard collection of all the different ones so people can get stuff that don't cover like 3/4 of their wall in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Be nice. So
I don't know.
Anyway, Desdemona says they are also editing, but with a much easier timeline. Legit. So,
All right.
okay. I am going to share my screen. I'm going to share this one little Chrome tab, and let's see. Let's
little Chrome tab. Not big Chrome tab, little Chrome tab.
I think I have a different layout. Give me a second. Haha. There we go. That's what we want when Sako can't make it.
Yep.
I mean, it's still over my head. Yeah. I guess I could have centered it, but yeah. That's fine. I think we're good.
It's good enough.
It's good. So
I have no idea where this accent is coming from. So
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last night.
Oh, good for you. I have not. I did, however, recently watch Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania because it finally came to Disney Plus.
That was fun. I wouldn't call it a good movie, and they definitely could have done more with Wasp, like giving her some speaking lines. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. It was an Ant-Man movie.
It actually, I would say it wasn't an Ant-Man movie. It was a Marvel Cinematic Universe. Things are getting worse because we're building up to a big climactic battle later on.
Yeah, it was filler, and look how pretty we are.
Yeah, it's like
it wasn't as heisty. They wanted to try and make it feel heisty, but it wasn't very heisty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, they really broke most of the formulas. They had the characters there, but they weren't doing Ant-Man-y things.
Yeah. So, but it was still fun. It just wasn't quite the expectations we have been given. So,
yeah,
what you gonna do? Enjoy it and get ready for the next one, and realize that I'm behind on the Marvels and I'm behind on Spider-Man, and I need to catch up.
Yeah. Well, we should have some good ones this summer. I mean, we've got Into the Spider-Verse coming out soon. But
I know that's why I need to catch up.
Yep, and other good stuff. But enough about that, because we're not sprinting, we're talking Marvel, and that's not what this stream is about.
Right. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead and start the sprint. Desdemona has been watching Willow and watched the movie yesterday and is now watching the show. That's super fun. I hear it's coming off of Netflix soon, so hop to. Make sure you finish it up quickly. So, okay, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chakalaka. And we're back. How was your sprint?
Well, I started a new chapter, so that was good.
Nice.
Look, measurable progress. Unfortunately, part of what I'm doing is dealing with comments on descriptions, and sometimes that means you just got to completely reword the description, and that's almost like writing all over again.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of a fight scene.
Oh, fun.
So
technically, I'm in the prequel to a fight scene.
I mean, we just escaped, and one final torpedo hit, and our lead spaceman array just got hit. And we're about to assess and find out we're really low on food, etc., etc., etc.
Oh. The situation is going from bad to dire.
I mean, it was going from fluffy to oh dear to oh bleep. And I just need to up the bleep content. So
speaking of fluffy.
Right? Did you miss the 5 minutes of Catticus demanding playtime until we had a stare down with the water bottle?
No, actually, I saw that. I was just trying to concentrate on my work.
Yeah. Because when he comes and just sits there and preens, that means pay attention to me or I will bite the shit out of you. He'll bite my cheek, and I don't want him to get in trouble, so I try to head it off. But he is right. It is Gushy Food Day, and I have not actually fulfilled my duty as kitty mama to give him his gushy food. So now I just have to wait for him to not be a jerk for 10 minutes so it doesn't look like I'm rewarding bad behavior.
Yeah, can't reward cats for being jerks.
No. So popping into the comment, Desdemona is moving along, had a brief interruption with a DoorDash order, but totally worth it, eating some Mediterranean, and now I'm hungry. Oh, I was snacking this sprint. What was your sprint snack?
Let's see. So I've been still going with the Chex Mix, but I've been going back and forth between the bold and the truffles, and
right.
Wasn't sure. So what I did was I opened a bag of the bold and I dumped a bunch of M&Ms into it to kind of make my own hybrid.
Your own. Nice. So today I'm going with Stacy's pita chips, the Parmesan garlic and herb.
Okay.
Yeah.
A shiny bag, so it was reflecting the light.
Yeah.
You're back. Why are you back? Go away.
So, although next sprint might need some chocolate.
You being Nightbot, reminding everyone to stretch.
I was just yawning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you noticed any signs of Catticus shedding?
I mean, some.
Okay. Just kind of wondering because Trill has been shedding in a major way.
Is Trill short hair or long haired?
Trill is a long hair.
Catticus is short haired, and there's a reason I selected a short haired cat on purpose.
But it was like I got up one morning and looked over at the other side of the bed, and it looked like the cat had exploded because there were just huge chunks of fluff all over the place.
Oh my goodness! A friend of mine has shaved her cat for the most part, other than maybe a lion cut, because his hair is super fine, and if you brush it every other day, it still mats. So, and mats just pull and are very uncomfortable on the cat, so.
Yeah, that's actually the problem we have with Gilly. Even though she's a short hair, her undercoat mats.
Oh, that's rough. That's super rough.
And she doesn't really like the brushing when she's got mats.
Catticus never likes brushing, so.
Oh.
I was trying to scare him off with the brush. That's my hairbrush, not his.
Trill loves brushing. She typically comes up and demands to be brushed every morning.
I mean,
I mean, some mornings it's like she will come up and perch on my leg while I'm sitting on the bed and demand to be brushed, and then she'll just lie down and say, "I'm not moving, keep brushing."
Yep. So Desdemona says that their short-haired cat sheds more than the long-haired cat.
It can happen.
Catticus sheds most when he's in play mode. I don't know why, but like something about biting human flesh, all of a sudden my lap is covered in fur, even if he'd been napping there or grooming himself there, you know?
Yep. It's part of the whole defense system. They like loosen up their follicles so that if the enemy bites them, they just get a mouthful of fur instead of getting purchased.
Yeah. So he loves nomming on mom. It's one of his favorite activities. It's not one of mine.
At least not the way he does it.
I mean, yeah, also his nails need trimming, but that's on me. So anyway, we've talked about snacks. We have talked about what we got done during that sprint. What do you think? Is it time for another sprint?
You really do want to put? Are we going to try to do a 6 sprint in 2 hours? Here?
We can't.
We can't.
No, we can't. We can't. But we can do a 3
That's
or 4.
true. We can't. We can do 4 or 5 though.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get one in.
All right.
Also, I really wanted some chocolate, and my water cup is empty. So.
Didn't you have to call someone?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Start the sprint before you forget.
Okay. So 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back. How was your sprint?
Getting better. Still find myself having to like completely rewrite a couple paragraphs, but I'm starting to pick things up, and I'm actually moving into the action scene. So hopefully things will pick up in a little bit. Still dealing with some of my editor's comments where it's like, I don't understand how this house is laid out. It's like, it was really plain when I wrote it. The words haven't changed, but
yeah. And sometimes people read things in more than one sitting and then forgot what they read.
Yeah.
And
I have that issue more with my beta readers because I only give them small chunks.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, it's harder to go back and refer to something when it's in a completely different document. But
my chocolate just called me out.
Your chocolate called you out? I can't read it. Don't stop what you're doing. No.
Let me see if I can get it. Oh, come on.
Don't stop until you're proud. Okay.
While I'm editing.
Wait, you want to stop editing until when you're not happy with the sentence?
No, I'm just saying there's that, perfectionist tendency in a lot of writers to not stop until everything's perfect. And then there's the 80 to 90% where that's not bad. I can live with that. And, obviously editing somewhere has to end somewhere in the middle. You can't workshop every line for 90 minutes.
For me, proud is like a step down from perfection. It's just like, there's I'm happy with that. It's like, and then I would be proud to put that out to have people read that, and then it's like, here's the perfect line. It's like, don't go for the perfect line.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, that's but I finished the chapter I was on, and I coordinated with my dad for party purposes because we both asked to be on the con party floor. And that has a lot of adjoining rooms. And so the guy in charge of the hotel was like, hey, did you want to have the adjoining room with your dad? And I mean, obviously I can keep that sucker locked if I want, so I don't care. And he's going to throw a book party, which might be 2 hours. So at least that means one side of my room is not going to be super loud. Because at RavenCon, I ended up on the party floor, and it was so loud, there was no way I could sleep before 2 a.m.
Oh, lovely.
So, well, I mean,
I was going to say, it's like, I thought the question was more of, how do I say, no, do not make me share a suite with my dad?
I have crashed in his room before. It's not a biggie for me, but yeah. So I was just like, the big question was his wife, partner, whatever. She had asked to be near children's programming, which is on a different floor earlier. So I wanted to call and make sure they hadn't crossed streams, like both had the same conversation and come out of it with different things,
Okay.
And Dad's like, no, we changed our minds. We talked it over. I was like, just wanted to make sure, sometimes people forget conversations. And
sometimes they only hear their own part.
Some people are really good at hearing what they expected you to tell them and ignore what you actually say.
Oh yeah, I've run into those people all the time on the internet. It's like, they're all ready for the argument they thought I was going to give them, and it's like, I didn't say any of that stuff.
Yeah. My aunt likes to forget any holiday plans unless it's you saying yes to what she wants to do. So she's like, yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I hope they'll be down on these dates. And we're like, we already told you 3 times that won't work. So, yeah. at least we like to. I really hope it's just her being in denial and not getting up there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was a comment that you had made, I think on Twitter earlier that I saw. No, I'm sorry, it was somebody else's comment on Facebook.
Okay.
Talking about planning and flexibility, and one of my replies to it was that, you could have the most genius plan ever and still go down in flames if you can't deal with the fact that something's not going to come out to your plan.
Yeah.
So it's like they may really love this plan that they laid out, but they can't deal with the fact that other people are not signing up to it.
Yeah. So
But even if you have sorry.
I learned that in high school, I'm a geek, and therefore when I was put in charge of project or whatever, very often people would not follow my lead. And so no matter what plan you have to have people follow your lead. And then one summer I was at some summer camp thing and they followed my lead because these weren't my classmates who had known me for 10 years. These were new kids who didn't know me, and we were all geeks, and they followed my lead, and I was told we were the first group that ever successfully completed that project.
They followed your lead because you sounded like you knew what you were doing, and it's just, well, I've got a plan.
And it worked, but that really drove home the fact that if you can't get people to buy into your plan, it doesn't matter how good it is.
Yeah. And
it's nice if they do follow it, but if not, make sure that the plan that is selected has what you think it needs to succeed.
Yeah. I know
walk away.
For a long time, I just abandoned planning altogether because every time I made up a plan, something would come along and immediately derail it. And it's taken and I just figured it was better use of my time to just be prepared to wing it. And I have recently come to learning the life lesson that it's better to have a plan, even if it's a bad plan, because that always gives you something to fall back on when things stop trying to push you one way or the other. It's one thing to roll with the punches, but what do you do when the punches stop and you still have to do stuff?
So I know, especially a lot of my friends with chronic illness or whatever really struggle with plans and getting to keep them.
Yep.
So,
but it's like, if you can be flexible and you've got some kind of a plan, you can make it work.
Yeah. So, or like a fallback plan, like we can wing it, but if all else fails, we'll rent a motel and order Grubhub.
Yep.
So. Okay. So how was your sprint? Did we do that part?
I did that part. I said that things are going better. We're starting to get some comments here.
Nice. I'm glad. I'm really glad. So, and I finished a chapter, and let's see. Let me pop into the comments. Let's see. Desdemona says that her short-haired cat has a very dense undercoat. Legit. King Red Spy Red X is here. Hello, Jacob. Good to have you. He's going to go to the hotel water park with his mom and some friends. That's awesome. And then watch Welcome Back to Thunderdome. Quality Sunday activities there.
We don't have a water park.
Manassas has one. So
actually, that's Gaithersburg has one, but I haven't been in a while.
I've never been. Yeah. I mean, I grew up working at Busch Gardens Water Country, so I got standards. Desdemona had to research some VPNs. Desdemona works IT, which means they have some IT network stuff in their world building, and they have to fact check to make sure it's accurate. Yeah. So let's see. Jacob is excited about going, but maybe they're not. Okay. Oh, it's been updated, and now they're going to the hotel water park on Monday. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Steve and stuff, hello and welcome. I think you are a first-time commenter. We do writing sprints and we talk about writing, but you can bring crafts or, any project you're working on, or just bring a snack and hang out, because this is a no judgment zone. And we know Sunday afternoons are usually lazy and relaxing for most people. It's just the only time I can commit to my writing regularly. Let's see. Jacob really wanted to go to the hotel water park again. I don't blame you. It's great weather for it. So I was right, Steve. We're very happy to have you. So just let us know if you're working on something. Let us know what you're snacking on. All the priorities here. I have acknowledged that I am a snack-fueled writer, and sometimes I try to be healthy, and then sometimes if that's not working and I need to be productive, I grab a snack, and all of a sudden I'm 10 pages in. So, or if I'm writing, it's more like 2 pages in. All of a sudden works easier for editing than writing.
Yeah. You got to have the right fuel for the right process. So.
Exactly. So, okay. Steve says working on something is a bit of a stretch. There is a novel in the works, but it has been that way for approaching generations. Hey, everybody has their own writing process and their own writing schedule, and sometimes it changes even in the middle of the same story. So do what works for you, I think, is the only hard and fast rule of writing.
Yeah. But as my favorite is, if it's a big work, you've got to nibble at it or it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I've got my, regular 5 minutes. All I have to do is 5 more minutes of editing today. But usually once I get down and sit down and get started, I do more than 5 minutes. But if all I get done is 5 minutes, that's another paragraph. That's maybe another page, and every little bit counts. And I've found that writing sprints really work for me, although 23 minutes is better for writing for me than editing. Editing, sometimes I like longer chunks, but it's 2023, so our writing sprints are 23 minutes because I'm easily amused.
Yep.
So
I know my tendency when writing is to aim low and overachieve. So I aim for getting in 250 words, and it just kind of builds on there, and I can easily do a couple thousand words in an hour. Nice. Once I get rolling.
Yeah. For editing or revisions, for editing, 10 pages per hour is kind of my average, unless I get really stuck on one phrase that I really want to pop. Revisions can go all over the place.
Yeah.
So
revisions can be fast or slow. Lord knows.
Yeah.
Slow for me lately.
So Steve says he needs to do what does not work for him. What works for him is procrastinating, self-sabotage, and gaming way too much. You're right. We misspoke. We said what works for you, not what works for your writing. And you have to figure out what works for your writing if you want to make progress.
I was just say, if not writing works for you, then it's like, why are you here?
I mean,
not that we like having you here, but
you are A, totally welcome, even if you never write a thing, and B, I think we all have had the feeling at some point where we would much rather have written than be writing. So we get that. Doc, yes?
Yes. I mean, and there are definitely days when you just need a day off.
Yeah. I was going to get so much editing done on Thursday night, and instead I was dealing with convention stuff and got emotionally burnt out and went to bed at 10:30 and doom scrolled TikTok for 3 hours.
Yeah. And it may just be that I'm more motivated by getting the stories move forward because I want to publish this stuff. I want people to read it.
I am momentum driven. If I know that I have managed to edit 20 pages a day for my last 3 like sit down sessions, then I'm like, I can do another 20 pages. And I hate breaking a streak once I have one. But once I start making excuses, I can make excuses all day, which is why I stink at Camp Nano, because it's a self-target, and the group and like the feeling of external people checking in and watching and seeing and stuff is much lower. And so, yeah, I think I've won camp once, but I regularly win NaNoWriMo itself. So National Novel Writing Month, where we pledge to write 50K words in a month. But yeah, so self-motivation is hard.
Yeah, NaNoWriMo is a much bigger event, as there are a lot more people cheering. While Camp Nano is, you really have to have, you got to have fellow campers for Camp Nano in order to keep with it. But,
yeah. So, okay. Speaking of, I have edits to make, and so does Doc. So let me find my timer and let's go ahead and get started. So it's right above my head. You'll see we have 23 minutes for our next productivity sprint. Desdemona says they also love the challenge of NaNoWriMo. It really helps them since they don't really get caught up in all the details and they can worry about them later. And it's good for that rough first draft.
We'll fix it in post. Oh, wait, that's what I'm doing now, is fixing it in post.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to be kind to future Morgan, and sometimes I put some square brackets and roll. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom, chakalaka. And we're back. Oh, how was your sprint?
It seemed like it was starting to pick up pace, and then I just hit a place that was a whole tangle.
Yeah.
And part of this is because I've got a scene where I've got a bunch of antagonists who are threatening a garden party, and they've cut off the exits, and it forces people to retreat back into the garden.
Isn't that like the opening thing that okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the it's the opening inciting incident, and my editor just every time I refer to anyone who's not either one of the antagonists or the some of the soldiers who were there were just like, oh, they fled. It's like, no, they didn't. They had nowhere to go that was safe. The whole point of this ambush was to trap them in this space.
Yeah, they ducked behind the patio furniture.
Yeah.
So, I started on editing my next chapter, and then I realized, wait a second, we're going Vasilissa, Uaya, Jana, Vasilissa, Uaya, Vasilissa, Uaya, Jana. Wait a second, one of these, I moved one of the Jana chapters.
One of these Janas is missing.
The alternating wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
We're like cousin, captain, main character, captain, main character, wait, no, we can spread her out. And yeah. So I swapped those two chapters and I went to the first one to start editing because I was like, didn't we just leave her? Like, that's where I left off. And the start of main characters is in the wrong order. Like, she's stressing about stuff, legit, but she needs to stress about the ship because where we left off, the torpedo had hit and we just entered the void. She needs to worry about the ship before she worries about the fact nobody's called her.
Yeah.
Like,
you could legit be missing a chapter. You might have had it in the right order.
No. I know I'm not.
I'm just guessing based on what you're saying.
I'm using the same words. I'm just swapping where they are in the chapter. I'm like, what? No. Order of operations. Let's stress about living, hierarchy of needs. We start at food and water and air, and then we go to has everybody cut me off from the family and are not sending rescue.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think survive for the moment and then worry about how much longer you're going to survive after that.
Yeah.
So exactly. Did you finally balance out the point of view sections between the three characters, or is it?
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, I did that last draft. I just had to swap two. The problem is it makes some chapters really short, but I wanted to alternate between characters, but I also wanted to make sure they all hit the climax at the same time. So sometimes we have multiple scenes in one chapter, and sometimes we have one scene split across multiple chapters, depending on the length and the pacing.
Okay.
So, which might be why I tried to have her sooner, but none of her other chapters are later, so I think it's fine. So, popping into the comments, Desdemona says they are almost done with their first go through the chapter, which is half edit and half rewrite. And it's their first edit, and they have a much better feel for the characters than when they first wrote it. Yeah. I think many of us have been there.
Yeah.
So, I'm not alone. Desdemona has that same sort of chapter pattern in their novels and realized they had skipped a really important piece in the other work in progress and needed to add a chapter and thought they were going to mess up their pattern. But then realized they could change a point of view of a chapter without losing anything and could fix the potential pattern mess up, which satisfying, very satisfying. I get that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have not run into that yet because I'm doing one point of view narrator. So
this is the first time I've done more than 2 points of view, and and those are usually just alternating. Whereas this one, the main character is sometimes with the cousin on the planet and sometimes on the ship with the captain, and so hers has to be consistently paced for which character she's interacting with.
Yep.
Which is why what was like a 30-some chapter book is now 45 chapters, so we can get that nice alternating. And so they all climax at the same time. You don't want somebody in the denouement, like the falling action, chilling out while other people are still in super danger. Because
not unless they're going to realize that they thought it was over and no, it's still going on for them. We have to help them now.
Yeah. But at this point, that character has a totally separate story path that doesn't interact with the other two people who are in peril, mortal peril.
Right.
So we want her stressors to be still going on, even if it's a lower key background story. Like hers is all about investigation and motivation, whereas the others are, going up against the alien Baba Yaga. So slightly different scope.
We've got slightly more life and death stakes.
Right. But that means it's very important to make sure that the lighter story is not already resolved while they're about to die. So yeah, I had to switch up some stuff initially, and it was fun. It was challenging but fun, and I credit it to you who reminded me. Splitting chapters is a thing, or splitting scenes across chapters.
Splitting scenes across chapters is definitely a thing.
I mean, it's also very much a pulp cliche, and that's how you end up with cliffhangers. But you don't have to split them at a cliffhanger unless it's, appropriate for the scene. For non-pulp adventures, ending every chapter on a cliffhanger is doesn't work well for most genres.
You should not end every chapter on a cliffhanger because that will exhaust your audience. You should give them a chance to rest every now and then.
Yeah.
But you can end most chapters on a cliffhanger to keep them reading.
I would say that in a pulp or a thriller or a suspense, you can end more chapters with a cliffhanger than in a fantasy,
It also depends on how much stamina your characters have, because if you're doing that much cliffhangering, that's a lot of energy that your characters are expending. So
did you ever see the movie Fury?
I do not recall. I don't.
Okay. So it was a tank movie.
A tank
where
movie?
It takes place in a tank.
Okay.
In April of 1945. And
pardon me.
While it might not have all been one day, as far as the scenes are cut and the characters are shown, as far as I know, it all happened in one day or one 24-hour period.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
and it is exhausting to watch.
There's a lot of there's a bunch of sub-hunt type movies.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's that's most of the movie, and it's like you just completely lose track of how much time this is taking. It could all be real time. It could all be in one day. It could be so many hours. It's spread across several days, but you're just skipping over that.
Yeah. We only show one nightfall. So as far as I know, there's only one night. It's a scribe, like a clerk, gets thrown into a tank because they ran out of people, and it's his first day on the tank, replacing the best gunner in the business.
Yeah, I think about the Hunt for Red October. It's like doesn't really take into account how long it takes for naval ships to move into place.
Yeah.
Um,
So I did a infographic with fantasy pet peeves, but I called it fantasy follies or fallacies because I thought it was quippier and was told by seven different people that I had it backwards. So, I mean, message received, but it was quippier. The movie was called Fury. So, it has like Brad Pitt and Shia LaBeouf and a bunch of other people.
Make your own comment about Shia LaBeouf here.
No. Yeah. So yeah, it was good, but utterly exhausting and very long, and I don't think I'll ever watch it again. Right up there with Life is Beautiful. Amazing good movie. It's about a concentration camp. So anyway. And like it starts off and it shows the guy's courtship and then they have the little kid and then it shows him doing some of the same things during the courtship in the concentration camp to help his kid not be so scared. But like the watcher knows the context and it won awards. It was a great movie, but oh my gosh, super depressing. Don't know I'll ever watch it again.
I can see that.
So anyway, bleep. It's 6:30.
Yeah, it's 6:30.
I guess we're not doing another sprint.
I'm guessing probably not. No.
No. Next week, I think we'll be starting half an hour early. I'm not 100% sure. We will be live from Balticon in Baltimore, Maryland. It's a sci-fi fantasy convention. Doc will be there. I'll be there. What are your panels, Doc?
Oh, you want?
Let me put you on the spot.
No warning. Let's talk about all of my panels. Fortunately, I do have it up. So on Friday, I will be talking about finding your voice at 4 p.m. And at 7 p.m., I will be talking about mad science.
Dun, 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 dun.
On Saturday, I'm going to have an autograph session in the fifth floor lobby at 2:30, and hopefully people will stop by and I can sell them books. Then at 4 p.m., I will be talking about the continued popularity of Star Trek and Doctor Who. And at 5:30, I will be talking about the business side of being a creative.
It's a hustle game.
I'm sorry?
I said it's a hustle game.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, there's several different ways, but as much as everyone puts emphasis on the artistic side, the creative side, you've got to spare some cycles for the business or you're going to get ripped off. So
yeah.
Sunday morning, I'm going to be starting the day talking about science bloopers.
Fun.
And then at 2:30, along with you, I'm going to be talking about better beta reading. And then we're going to be doing the live stream at 4 p.m. And Monday morning, I'm going to have my reading. That's going to be interesting to see how many people are going to get up early and go to a reading. But
right.
And then my last panel is going to be at 11:30, and we'll be talking about small press or self-publish.
Oh, fun. It's super fun. So I'm going to be at Balticon next weekend from Friday through Monday. On Friday at 5:30, I'll be doing So This Is Your First Balticon with points and tips for getting the most out of a convention. And then Saturday morning at 11:30, I'll be there with First Timers and Friends. It's a meet and greet and also a convention tour with some tips and stuff with fan guest of honor, Brian Bells Jordan. So we're going to have snacks and drinks and stuff, and we're going to hang out in the con suite and then do the little tour and come back. At 2:30, I will be doing beta reading for fun and no profit. It's a presentation workshop, followed by the youth open mic night, or afternoon really, at 4:00. At 5:30 is the Broad Universe rapid fire readings, where I'll be reading a snippet of, I believe, my work in progress. I should read it and make sure the first chapter is good. And then
always
that
helps
evening,
to have your readings prepared.
yeah. And that night I will be doing my chillaxathon party. I'll have crayons and coloring, bring craft projects, and I'll have meatballs and rice and chips and snacks and all sorts of things. So, and it'll be me there, so you should come hang out. And then Sunday, I start off at 10 a.m. with picking your plot, followed after lunch with Am I a Real Writer Now? It's a virtual panel, so if you're not there in person, you can check it out online or check it out in the replay. And then Better Beta Reading with Doc at 2:30, and then from 4 to 6:30 is the lazy Sunday afternoon write-in, which we all know what's happening there. But yeah, we will be back next week, but we will be in person together. Craziness. I know. It happens. So thank you all for coming. Good luck with your own writing projects or, your laundry. I don't know what you're working on today. And thanks for coming. Have a great week and good luck. Bye.